So I had been in the area 6 weeks when I came to the C4 conference last year. And someone in the office had told me about it and said, Crissa, this will be something that sounds like it's right up your alley. What really stood out to me was the sense of collaboration. But it wasn't just the word, we're going to collaborate. It actually happened in the context of that conference. And so what it reminded me of is that I was new to the area, but I was not alone. I had found my people. And I have a lot to learn about community development, but I feel like Cornerstone really gave me a great launching off point, and then really confirmed some of the things that were stirring inside of me. When I joined the staff of Asbury, I came on to help with community transformation. This church had been praying for years about ways to be more deeply involved in deeper relationships with some of the neighbors that lived in close proximity to their church building. So Drake State contacted us because they needed a host site for their free GED classes in Madison. And so we wanted the opportunity to be able to collaborate with an organization who is doing really well what they do. We don't need to replicate that, but we would like to partner with different organizations in our community who are doing what they do really well and just come alongside them. So in my conversation with the adult education director, when we were talking about the logistics, I asked her if it would be possible for us to have just a simple meal for the GED students, and maybe if they had children, to come with them so they could all share a meal together before they went to their GED instruction. Because I wanted an opportunity for Asbury members to be able to get connected with their neighbors as we start to all build relationships together. We also wanted to be able to engage with the students, and if they needed help finishing their homework, maybe tutoring needs down the road, we felt like that was another way that we could get our Asbury members involved and people who are really ready to start building relationships one-on-one with our neighbors. Our hope and our prayer is that if God would so choose to use us in deeper ways in these initial relationships, that He would let the need surface and arise and then call us to join that need. And so in that moment, while I'm talking to her on the phone, after months of praying really about God's direction and discernment going forward, I knew that this was the start of something, a partnership, because it wasn't something we had created. It was something that they had come to us and said, we have a need. Is this a need you can fill? One of the concerns in my mind, anytime we start talking about getting to know our neighborhood is how do I do that unless I really know my neighbor? After we spent several months praying about it, my husband and I made the decision prayerfully to move into the neighborhood for the sole purpose of getting to know our neighbors. We don't have an agenda. We really just want to get to know our neighbors. We have felt God really lead us in this way, and to be really honest, we don't know what all that's going to look like. We just are really excited about this new community that we live in. Just the diversity that's represented there, to me, is a real picture of what the kingdom looks like. I think that when I read things about community development or poverty, or what it looks like to be involved in something that sounds as lofty as community transformation, it can sound really big and out of reach. But the fact is, there are all things that we can do on a very simple level. And it's really not a new idea if you think about the fact that my grandparents were good neighbors long before it became a movement to have an art of neighboring. It's really just a return back to what it means to not live such an isolated life that I don't pay attention to who lives next door to me. I think that's one of the things that really strikes me as we have conversations about community development and asset-based community development. It's really the fact that we're not creating it. I didn't make a call. I received a note on my desk that somebody had called. So God is obviously at work already all around. And I think our job then and our responsibility is to keep our eyes open to how He would have us engage in deeper levels, not creating things, not going in with our mindset that we have all these answers and we don't even know all the questions, but that we would be responsive to His call and His leading in our community.